The long-rumored Tesla Model 2, Tesla's expected next-generation, lower-cost electric car, is back in focus tonight, as a new wave of reporting, supplier chatter, and fresh signals from Tesla's own public comments paint a clearer picture of what the company may be planning for 2026. To be clear up front, Tesla has not officially announced a vehicle called Model 2, nor has it formally confirmed a launch date, price, or final design. But across multiple recent updates, a consistent story is emerging that Tesla is still pursuing a more affordable, higher volume vehicle, but possibly in a more flexible way than people originally expected. Tonight, we're going to walk through what's new, what's credible, what's still speculation, and what the latest details could mean for buyers, competitors, and the EV market heading into 2026. Let's start with the big picture, why this vehicle matters. For years, Tesla's lineup has been strongest in the mid to upper price segments, Model 3 and Model Y at the core, and the more premium Model S and Model X above them. Even with price cuts, many shoppers still see Tesla as out of reach, or at least difficult to justify once insurance, financing rates, and household budgets are factored in. A lower-cost Tesla, if it arrives, would be less about adding another niche model and more about expanding Tesla's total addressable market, potentially by millions of buyers. It would also be Tesla's answer to the surge of affordable EVs coming out of China, and the steady push from legacy automakers to fill the sub-$30,000 space over the next few years. Now, what exactly is Model 2 supposed to be? In the EV community, Model 2 has become shorthand for a compact Tesla smaller than the Model 3, built with lower costs, simplified production, and very high volume in mind. It's often described as a hatchback or small crossover, designed for urban driving, efficient packaging, and lower battery requirements. The newest updates suggest Tesla's thinking might be broader. Rather than betting everything on one single cheap Tesla product, the company may be building a platform and manufacturing approach that can support multiple vehicles and potentially even purpose-built autonomous products from the same core architecture. That brings us to the most important, latest detail people are talking about: Tesla's continued emphasis on a next-generation platform and manufacturing strategy, not just a new model name. Over the past year, Tesla has talked repeatedly about next-gen vehicle development. In public-facing comments, the company has emphasized reducing cost per vehicle, simplifying assembly, and creating manufacturing lines that can ramp quickly and efficiently. The key point here is that for Tesla, the breakthrough isn't only the car, it's the factory. Several of the freshest reports and analyst notes revolve around Tesla's push for more modular assembly, fewer parts, fewer steps, and more automation. Some estimates suggest Tesla wants to cut manufacturing cost per unit significantly compared to the Model 3 and Model Y, not by trimming features, but by redesigning the way the car is built. And if Tesla truly hits that target, it could change the pricing dynamics across the industry. But what about timing? Why is 2026 now being discussed more than 2025? One reason is the reality of ramping new manufacturing technologies. Even for Tesla, a company known for moving fast, big shifts in how cars are built take time to debug and scale. New platforms need validation, new suppliers need qualification, battery supply has to be locked in, software integration has to be stable, and if Tesla intends to build this vehicle in multiple regions, each factory brings its own learning curve. Another reason is market timing. The mid-2020s will likely be a much more crowded EV market than what Tesla has faced so far. By 2026, more competitors will have second-generation EV platforms, better software, improved charging access, and more refined designs. So Tesla's lower-cost vehicle, whenever it arrives, needs to be more than just a cheaper Tesla. It needs to be a strong product in a tougher field. Now let's talk about what the new details most often point to in terms of design. Across the latest discussions, the most consistent description is this: a smaller footprint, practical interior space, and a design optimized for efficiency and cost. Expectations include a shorter overall length than Model 3, likely with a hatchback profile or a compact crossover stance. The reason is simple: hatchbacks and small crossovers are easier to package efficiently, can feel spacious relative to their size, and tend to match what global buyers, especially in Europe and parts of Asia, prefer for daily use. Another detail that continues to surface is that Tesla may simplify trim choices and options. That would fit Tesla's existing strategy: fewer configurations, fewer parts, fewer supply complications, and faster manufacturing. You might also see more integration, for example, seating, consoles, and cockpit components designed as assemblies that drop into place, rather than being built up piece by piece. And there's a practical consumer angle here too. If Tesla wants this vehicle to be truly mass market, it has to deliver a smooth ride, quiet cabin, and solid build quality at an accessible price, because the budget segment is less forgiving when value is the whole point. Now let's move to battery and range, always the heart of the EV question. The latest chatter suggests Tesla would likely use a smaller battery pack than the Model 3 or Model Y, but still aim for competitive real-world range, possibly in the neighborhood that makes the vehicle usable for commuting and weekend driving without anxiety. The exact number is still unknown, and it depends heavily on vehicle size, aerodynamics, and battery chemistry, but the larger story is chemistry flexibility. Tesla has increasingly used different battery chemistries for different goals, including lithium iron phosphate or LFP, which tends to be cheaper and longer lasting in many daily use cases, though it can be heavier and sometimes less energy dense than other chemistries. A lower-cost Tesla would be a natural candidate for LFP in many markets, especially if Tesla wants a vehicle that can be charged frequently, last a long time, and keep ownership costs down. Also worth watching, how Tesla evolves its cell strategy by 2026. If Tesla can scale cheaper cells and simplify pack design, the company could offer solid range without pushing the price out of reach. Now, a related question. Will this vehicle support fast charging at the level people expect from Tesla? Most likely, yes, but with realistic constraints. A smaller battery pack can actually charge quickly in terms of percentage because there's less total energy to add. The charging curve, how long the car stays at high charging power, will be more important than the peak number. For most buyers, what matters is, can you add enough range quickly on a road trip? If Tesla keeps strong thermal management and efficient pack design, a compact vehicle could be a surprisingly good road tripper despite having less total battery capacity than larger models. Next, software and driver assistance, a major part of Tesla's identity. By 2026, Tesla vehicles will almost certainly ship with a far more mature software stack than today's, simply because the company iterates constantly. The more complicated question is how Tesla prices and packages its advanced driver assistance features in a mass-market car. If this vehicle is meant to bring in first-time Tesla buyers and compete with affordable EVs, Tesla may need to rethink the cost of optional software packages or offer more value in the base purchase. On the other hand, Tesla has often leaned on software and post-purchase upgrades as a business model, so we could see a scenario where the base car is relatively affordable, but buyers are encouraged to add features later, either through subscriptions or one-time purchases. Now, one of the biggest new detail themes connected to a 2026 lower-cost Tesla isn't even about consumers at all. It's about autonomy and the possibility that Tesla's next-generation platform could support a purpose-built robotaxi or fleet-focused vehicle. Here, what that means in plain terms. Tesla has long argued that autonomy will be central to its future. If Tesla believes it can deploy vehicles that earn money for owners or operate in a fleet, then the most valuable vehicle isn't necessarily the one with the most luxury features. It's the one that's cheapest to build, cheapest to maintain, and can operate the longest with minimal downtime. That kind of vehicle would prioritize durability, easy cleaning, simple interiors, and extremely low operating cost per mile. So some of the latest speculation says Tesla might not release a cheap consumer car first, or at least not only a consumer car, but could focus heavily on an autonomy-ready platform that serves multiple roles. But again, to be careful, this is not confirmed. Tesla has not provided a clear product roadmap showing exactly how a lower-cost consumer vehicle and any robotaxi concept would sequence in time. What we do have is a growing set of signals that Tesla's next major step might be platform-driven, not model name-driven. Now let's talk manufacturing locations, a key part of the 2026 conversation. Where would Tesla build this next-gen vehicle? People often point to Tesla's factories in Texas and Mexico, with Mexico discussed in the past as a potential site for next-gen production, and also to Tesla's existing global capacity. Tesla also has major operations in China and Europe, which are critical markets for compact cars. The reason manufacturing location matters is twofold. First, cost. Labor, logistics, and supply chain proximity can determine whether a vehicle can hit a lower price target while still making margin. Second, eligibility for incentives and local sourcing rules. Depending on where the vehicle is built and where its battery materials come from, it may or may not qualify for certain consumer tax credits or incentives, which can dramatically change the effective price to buyers. By 2026, incentive structures could look different than today, but the underlying point will remain. Localized production can be a competitive advantage. Now price, the question everyone asks first. A lot of people have repeated a target number around $25,000, sometimes less, sometimes more. But it's important to frame that as a long-standing expectation rather than a confirmed figure. In reality, pricing depends on battery cost, factory efficiency, commodity prices, and how aggressive Tesla wants to be on margin. There's also the question of what base price actually includes. If Tesla launches a low entry price but limits availability, restricts options, or makes certain features paid software, the effective price many buyers pay could be higher. So the best way to think about the price right now is this. Tesla is aiming for a vehicle that expands its market significantly below the Model 3 and Model Y, but the exact sticker will depend on the economics of 2026. Now, what are the newest details telling us about how Tesla might position it? One theme is global appeal. A compact Tesla would be particularly strong in Europe, where streets and parking are tighter, fuel is expensive, and smaller vehicles are common. It could also be a big deal in parts of Asia and in dense North American cities where a smaller vehicle is easier to live with day to day. Another theme is insurance and repair cost. EV insurance has been a pain point for many buyers, and Tesla models in particular can be expensive to repair after collisions because of parts costs and repair complexity. If Tesla wants a truly mass-market car, it will need to address cost of ownership, not just purchase price. That could mean designing the vehicle with more easily replaceable components, fewer expensive sensors in vulnerable positions, and better parts availability. A lower-cost Tesla that's cheap to buy but expensive to insure would miss the point for many households. So watch for new details around repairability, parts strategy, and how Tesla works with body shops and insurers by the time this vehicle approaches launch. Now let's look at the competitive landscape, because this is where the 2026 story becomes more urgent. By 2026, affordable EVs won't be rare. The question will be, which ones are good enough, available enough, and supported enough to win big volume? Tesla's advantages remain powerful. Its charging ecosystem, brand recognition, software integration, and efficiency know-how. But competitors are catching up, especially in value segments, and especially from Chinese brands that have mastered cost-focused EV design at scale. So the new details matter because they suggest Tesla knows it can't simply shrink a Model 3 and call it a day. It needs a manufacturing leap, something that makes the economics work while still delivering a product people want. Now, what about the look and feel inside the car? If Tesla follows its current approach, expect a minimalist interior, likely with a central screen, heavy reliance on software, and limited physical controls. But one open question is whether Tesla will keep, remove, or reintroduce certain controls based on consumer feedback. Over the past few years, Tesla has experimented with reducing stalks and buttons, and that has been controversial for some drivers. In a mass-market vehicle, ease of use matters. If Tesla wants to attract buyers who aren't Tesla enthusiasts, it may need to prioritize intuitive design. That could mean small but important choices. Clearer controls, better ergonomics, more storage, durable materials, and a comfortable ride, the kind of things that matter more than novelty when you're selling at scale. Now let's address what the newest details do not tell us, because the absence of confirmation is important. We still do not have a confirmed vehicle name, a confirmed release date, a confirmed factory assignment, a confirmed price, a confirmed range or battery size, a confirmed design, body style, or dimensions. And until Tesla holds an official unveiling or provides formal guidance, any specific numbers should be treated cautiously, even if they sound plausible. So what can we responsibly conclude? The strongest conclusion from the latest updates is that Tesla's next major vehicle push is still centered on making EVs cheaper to build and easier to scale, and that a lower-cost vehicle remains a logical and likely outcome of that strategy. But the route Tesla takes to get there, and whether the first big next-gen product is aimed at consumers, fleets, or both, is still an open question heading into 2026. Now, what should consumers do with this information? If you're considering waiting for this rumored vehicle, it depends on your timeline. If you need a car soon, waiting for an unannounced model can backfire, especially if delays occur or the final pricing doesn't land where you hoped. If you can wait and your priority is getting into the Tesla ecosystem at a lower cost, it may be worth watching for the next 12 to 18 months for more concrete signs. Factory investments, supply chain commitments, prototype sightings, regulatory filings, or official Tesla teasers. Also, pay attention to how Tesla prices the Model 3 and Model Y over time. Tesla has historically used price adjustments to manage demand, and the affordable Tesla may sometimes arrive in the form of an aggressively priced existing model rather than a brand new one, at least temporarily. Finally tonight, here's the bottom line. The latest details don't confirm a Tesla Model 2 in the way many fans imagine it, a single, clearly defined car with a fixed price tag and a firm launch date. Instead, they reinforce a broader strategy. Tesla is working toward a next-generation platform and manufacturing system designed to unlock lower costs and higher volume. If Tesla succeeds, 2026 could mark the beginning of a new chapter, where Tesla competes not only as a tech-forward brand, but as a true mass-market automaker with pricing that reaches far beyond its current base. Until Tesla makes it official, treat every new leak, rumor, or report as a clue, not a conclusion. We'll keep tracking the signals, separating what's confirmed from what's assumed, and watching for the moment Tesla finally puts a real car and real numbers behind the story.